this week on the KD Sports Talk, actually, I might have a fucking name for us.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to say anything on air because it's not like but teaser. I might actually have something.
Dirty little tease.
So, anyways,
little tease. All right.
This week, Katie, on the KD Sports Talk, Ohio sports fucking suck. I can't get a good fucking weekend. Apparently, my Buckeyes lose in just abysmal fashion, and then I get my heart ripped out with the Browns. We're up three-quarters of the
entire game,
leading the whole entire game, and we can't pull out a fucking win. Yeah, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We're gonna talk about the Buckeyes right now.
Sure.
I'm just gonna, as the diehard around here, fire Kerry Combs. I need an actual defense of a decent coordinator to actually run a goddamn defense, not just run man to man all fucking day and get burnt to shit all fucking day. Okay. Our offense is actually pretty decent. CJ is pretty good. He played a lot better in the first half of this game than he did the first game against Minnesota. When we have the right running backs in, we have a good running game. We just don't use them. Yeah. That's how it is. Apparently, we're just a run only team or a pass only team now.
That's college football.
Yep, that's college football for you. But we have two really good running backs that we just need to start utilizing. And our line is scary good. Our line is scary good. O-line, by the way. O-line. Everybody on the defense can actually...
Yeah, your D-line's not bad.
Get healthy. Our secondary needs to get healthy, and then I'll say this for sure. But as of right now, everybody that plays on the defense can actually just go away. Just go away. Yeah, just do it on out. Because
before I get into talking about this game, I would just like to bring up a crazy stat for the week. That it is week 2 of college football season, and Michigan and Rutgers have a better record than Ohio State.
Yeah, there's no craziness about that. The way that we
played, it's a new day.
The way that we played in the last 2 weeks, our defense is a fucking 3-11 defense. I don't even know if that's the right number, but there are a subpar defense, and our offense, when it's run properly, is like a 9-3, whatever. I don't know what those numbers mean, but yes. We're a good offense with a shit defense right now.
So, I think so. From my takes from watching the game, the offense is fine. I mean, when you're scoring, 28 to, when you're putting up 600 yards of offense and losing, obviously your offense isn't the problem. Now, could they have scored more? Yeah. But I think when your offense is putting up 28 points and 600 yards of offense, your defense should be, I mean, it's not completely on the defense because there were some times the offense did miss some pretty big opportunities to take advantage of. Like in the fourth quarter when the defense actually was stopping them.
Yeah, that's when they showed up.
The whole quarter, right? And
they showed up in the fourth quarter.
Then the offense decided not to do anything.
Yeah.
My takeaways from it, defense is absolute poo. I saw I think I saw it was 11 Warriors where Ryan Days already came out and said that after like a big film watch, he's absolutely frustrated with the defense, and that if it doesn't change, they expect changes to be made.
Systematic was the word that was used.
So it'll be interesting who they play this week.
2 seconds.
I'm sure it's some sister of the poor school this week after a top 25 matchup in a non-conference.
So. Akron, I believe.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
But facing a non-Power 5 opponent this week, like every other top 20 or Power 5 school, probably.
Tulsa this week and Akron next week.
Ooh, okay. So that's going to be interesting because Tulsa hung 30-something on Oklahoma.
30
in Norman.
Yeah.
Like they were technically the home team, but
it was 35. It was 40 to 35. 40 to 35.
So we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see if they try and put in a whole new defense, which it can't hurt them at this point.
This game is at 3:30 on Saturday on FS1.
Nice. So I guess the take that I had, defense was bad. CJ Stroud, I saw a lot of people that were like
calling for his job already. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
not
don't get me wrong. He wasn't perfect by any
he definitely
means.
showed that he's a freshman.
He overthrows a lot.
Yeah, he thinks he thinks his wide receivers are 7 foot tall.
Well, I don't even think it's that. I just don't think he realizes how strong his arm is sometimes.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like, this is like, I know there was there's always high expectations with Ohio State, but I wasn't like, when people were telling me Ohio State this year, I wasn't thinking national championship team. Hell, I wasn't even thinking playoff team with Ohio State this year. Now, obviously, I'm not going to say that to any Ohio State fans because I'm a Michigan fan, so what the hell do I know? But but like, I don't know anything about CJ Stroud. Yeah, you have 2 top 10. You have probably the best, and maybe another top 10 in the country in Wilson. So Olave and Wilson receivers are fantastic. Rutgers a great tight end.
Rutgers is a great all around tight end.
Right. And your offensive line's really good. So, like, obviously I knew the offense was going to be good, but your guys' defense was bad last year.
Yes. And it didn't get any better.
No change. Yeah.
And the way that these top teams like Clemson, Alabama, the offenses that they're throwing out there, I didn't really think of. I mean, I figured they'd make the playoffs because the Big Ten's, not on that level, but I didn't think they would. I saw probably at best first round exit in the playoff, losing to whoever. Which is fine. I mean, that's okay. Like, it's not like, I know every Ohio State fan wants to win national championship every year, for the most part. But right. So, like, this is a pretty big rebuild.
Yeah,
you replace your quarterback for the last 2 years, who was a Heisman Trophy type of player. You lose a lot of big names on defense in the last 2 years. So, I mean, you get 4 and 5 star guys every year, but it takes not everybody just comes in as a 5-star and plays right away. Like, even at Alabama, there's rarely those guys that are playing year one. So,
that's the thing is that our guys, when they come in, they come in and they play Minnesota game 1, Oregon game 2, Tulsa game 3. I'm not playing fucking Mercer. We're not getting these warm-up games this year, and that's where we're seeing this.
Yeah, which is fine. But it's also going to be good for them in the late run. I mean, you still can win a Big Ten championship pretty easily, I think. I don't think East they're going to be in the title game unless the Michigan's first 2 games against Western Michigan and Washington aren't a fluke. Which I mean, Washington I don't think is that good, and Western Michigan's Western Michigan, so we'll see. I mean, Michigan threw the ball like 7 times last week against Washington and still
but at the same time,
touchdowns.
You're supposed to take care of the teams you're supposed to take care of, and they did.
Right.
Well, I mean, it was a top 15. I mean, it was a top 15.
And that's the other thing too that people are forgetting. Oregon's defense is really good,
and they didn't even have their best defense or their best
they were
players.
missing 2. They were missing 2 of their best players. So Oregon's not a slouch by any means. Well, defensive end and a linebacker, but I'm just saying. They are no slouch at all. So I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year if Oregon's undefeated in the Pac-12 and getting a playoff spot. Especially if they can go on to the road into Columbus at noon early for a West Coast team to come in and play like they did. They should have no problem in the Pac-12. But I mean, it's panic time, obviously, if you're Ohio State fans, just because it's not what you're used to. But I would say just ride it out. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, it was.
Agreed.
It was. I think it's definitely a wake up.
I think
it's definitely a wake up call for the team, and I think Ryan Day will get everybody back on.
I think if there's one thing that I've heard consistently through like Urban Meyer's tenure at Ohio State is, he has a certain expectation, and if you don't meet it, you're gonna get your ass reamed if you're on the staff.
You're going.
So I can feel like, I mean, Ryan Day, he's not going to be one of those guys that's going to give you a sound bite at all. He's going to say the thing that's going to be the proper thing to say, but behind closed doors, he might be just reaming people's asses.
Oh yeah.
And I
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
for sure.
I think the staff meetings have been very difficult at Ohio State.
Especially on the defensive end.
Well,
The problem with the offense is that they weren't balanced enough to get into the end zone. They could have played better against Oregon on offense and probably squeaked out a victory on offense. Like if they would have gotten to the into the end zone, I think that they would have been able to squeak out that victory a little bit easier. But they just weren't balanced enough, and Oregon was able to play into that, and that's just how that is.
For sure.
I loved the questions. So I was up. I was in the hospital over the weekend with Charlotte, and I listened, watched the game, and Charlotte was sleeping, and I go on outside on a walk for occasion. So I was just like listening to the radio while I was walking. And I think I texted you, Kenny, about the questions that they were asking Ryan Day.
The very pointed questions.
I can't even remember so the guy asked them straight up, Combs has never been a coordinator, and you bring him back as one. Are you comfortable with him and his scheme? Like straight up, just like, so are you done with Combs?
Yeah, like pretty much, are you done with Combs?
Like that's another thing too, is it's like, just he's also probably thinking, give it time, like you don't know if it's going to work or not. I mean, it's
pretty proven it's not going to work. 2 games, and you kind of like, even Minnesota, they embarrassed the defense.
But it's not. It might not even be.
Minnesota is a good team.
Well, like, it might not even be the scheme, though. It could be just his play calling could be terrible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's some guys who are great offensive minds, but are terrible could be terrible play callers. You know what I mean? The
problem is that he runs man every single play.
It's because he's Don Brown. He's little Don Brown. That's why Don Brown's not at Michigan anymore, because it doesn't work anymore. Yeah, you can't just run man.
Oh, the athletes are too good. Yeah.
And so you can't just your cornerbacks can't stick with them like
it's
that.
His old it's Combs' old school way, and
way old school. Yeah.
Combs is a very team oriented guy, so I don't see this being a problem if they do make a bunch of changes on the scheme side of things. I think he'll handle it with a lot of intensity. I love freaking. I've always loved watching him on the freaking sidelines going nuts.
Oh yeah.
He's intense.
He's got the intense. He's got the intensity of a strength coach.
Yeah, right. I've listened to him speak, and he screamed at us the entire time. So he is really intense. He's a lot of fun. To watch. I hope him I hope he picks it up. I hope the best, but at the same time, it's always all about results, and Ohio State.
We can't have this. We don't do regular season.
This is unacceptable.
Yeah, we don't do regular season losses. That's not how this works.
Yep.
Okay. So
now that
painful subject is out of the way, let's get into the other painful subject, which is the fucking Cleveland Browns and the NFL in general. We'll talk week 1 games.
So let's go through some of the notable week 1 injuries. Ryan Fitzpatrick got sacked, ended up his hip completely dislocated. And I believe he's out. He's on IR currently. I believe he's out.
I believe it's weeks. I think it's similar to the Tua injury that he had at Alabama, but not as serious. Like there's two different types of hip dislocations. Sublaxative or something like that. That's what Fitzpatrick is.
So
which is like the less serious.
Well, so what kind of is it's kind of like a partial separation and a full separation.
Right.
So your hip joint is like a big ball. Obviously, I'm sure you guys all know this. And then your hip is like a socket, right? Sometimes it'll just pop out like this.
Right.
And then come back in, and that's how that is. Tua's was like this.
Completely out. Yeah.
Ryan does Tua's that every day.
That's just your Crohn's. Don't worry about that.
That's my new hip. So, and then we've got Raheem Mostert. Son of a bitch was on my fantasy team. He had an injury. He maybe could have came back after about 6 to 8 weeks, but he decided to have the surgery now, ending his season. So he's done for the season.
Which I think is smart.
Smart for sure.
In the long run, it's
run,
going to be
in the long
yeah.
run.
In the short
And he's
term.
not,
And this
and
year,
he's not a young
fuck
buck,
yeah.
and he's not a young buck either.
But he was so good, man. He was so good, and he had a week 1 matchup against the Lions, who they just ran all over, and he was on the sideline while I'm watching him. Jerry Jeudy has a high ankle sprain.
Glad I didn't keep him.
I was gonna say, what are they talking about? A month for him?
Well, I'm guessing it's probably going to be like Michael Thomas's last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's high ankle sprains are so tough for wide receivers
terrible.
and running backs because you cut and all that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
And
Well, they have a very legitimately good or competitive wide receiver group in Denver. So yes, he's an asset, but I don't think they rush him.
Yeah, I don't. You don't do that. He's
no,
young.
yeah,
he's young.
He's year 2.
Yeah.
Some of the I'm going to go to the next guy that I kind of know a little bit more. Michael Gallup. He has a calf injury.
He's on IR. He's out 3 to 4 weeks. Yep, I have him on fantasy.
And then who are the other two?
So Jedrick Wills is junior, is the Browns. He's starter.
He's a tackle.
Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah. The right tackle, I believe.
Yeah, and I Kenny, anything on him?
Our line is one of the best.
Well, yeah, I know. I ain't worried about your line. I'm saying him. I mean, that's still a big loss.
Yeah, it's a huge loss, but I think his backup did very well in the game.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So it sucks, and we'll miss him. But
how long is he out for?
That is a great question. I'm not 100%.
And then who's the last guy while he looks?
So Becton is the starting left tackle for the Jets.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, and I wasn't going to because not a lot of people
hear about linemen, oddly enough,
right? And I was going through them, and I was just like, he's starting left tackle for a bad team, but when you lose your left tackle, I saw earlier, he's out 6 to 8 weeks for them, so some reshuffling is going to have to happen in New York, which sucks when you have a
rookie,
the second overall or the number 1 overall pick, right? 2. Who was number 1?
Number 2.
Lawrence, number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. Yeah. So that's always
he's just day to day.
Day to day.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Day to day.
Yeah, just got rolled up on.
Okay. And then you have another one. Tamarcus Lawrence broke his foot today at practice for the Cowboys. You put here that it requires surgery, so he's going to be getting that and is expected to return in November. That is a quick turnaround for a broken foot.
Not really.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you think of breaking something, it's kind of crazy.
That's still 8 weeks. Well, 6 to 8 weeks.
4 to 8 weeks typically for a break. So, I mean, if you think about it, that still gives them a month and a half with the team. Gives them probably he's probably half the season still. So if you think about it, it's still a long time.
The NFL changed the rules this year to where you can pretty much put as many people on IR and take as many people off of IR and still play them. So that's a rule change this year.
I think that has everything to do with the COVID stuff.
I believe so. It makes it so much easier, and I don't see why teams have to do they should have been able to do this the whole time. Strictly because they need to fill their roster spots. They can't just be fucking around.
Yeah.
Right.
For that. So that's always nice. I do want to bring up some weird news on the side of not necessarily injuries, but Chandler Jones for the Cardinals,
the defensive player of the year.
Well, I mean, he's starting off
maybe.
He had a 5-sack performance in week 1 against the Tennessee Titans.
Against Taylor Lewan.
He worked Taylor Lewan, who actually tweeted about it. But yeah, he confirms that he has and still is looking for a trade from the Cardinals, which, I mean, they had a great week 1 game, and we're trying to figure out, obviously we don't know everything, but it looks like he's doing well. I'm not kind of blown away by this.
So
that
So-
he's still like, even after last week's this week's performance.
I mean, this has everything to do with just his like overall happiness. You know what I mean?
I don't
like,
think he likes. I don't think he likes.
he doesn't like being in Arizona.
Freaking what's the coach's name? Young dude that came over from Texas Tech.
Cliff
Kingsbury.
Yep.
I don't think he likes the organization. I don't think he likes the coach when
He
they
doesn't like
when
Double
they,
K.
when they hired Kingsbury. I think that upset him because the strong point for the Cardinals up until Kingsbury had come was their defense was really good.
Mhm.
And I think he was wanting somebody that was
A
kind of
defensive
more,
minded coach.
well, not even, I don't even think it was defensive minded. I think he wanted somebody where like, hey, we have a really good defense. If you put an offense in here, like we're going to be, but with the right coach. And I don't think Kingsbury is going to be winning any Super Bowls as a head coach. But
You don't know, man. I mean,
so I
these
think
teams
that's when
work.
this all started, was when Kingsbury got hired. I think Jones was wanting somebody more respectable, an NFL type of guy,
Gotcha.
instead of some nut job off the college ranks, But
and he's doing well. He's had success.
has he?
Yeah.
How?
I mean, he's had a winning season. He started this year off well. I think he's making smart deals, trades when the Texans still had that stupid kid in front.
Is he
as
though,
their GM.
or is
What are you
somebody
trying
else?
to?
Is there a GM that makes those decisions?
Yeah, there's a GM that makes those decisions, and the GM has been known to hit quite a bit. He's a pretty good GM.
So
But
the GM's pretty good for Arizona.
But his offense is good.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I understand that. But
So
his offense isn't going to win a Super Bowl.
Not yet.
No, it won't. Not with Kyler Murray. I love Kyler. I think Kyler Murray is a fantasy god.
Kyler Murray had 5 touchdowns.
Cool. Who'd they play?
The guy destroyed.
Who'd they play?
Tennessee Titans,
Whose
a
defense
playoff
is
team
absolutely,
from
defense
last
is
year.
terrible, but their defense
Yeah,
sucks.
their defense is garbage.
They,
I like
listen,
I don't get me wrong.
listen.
I
and then
love
their
small
and then
and
their
mighty
defense, and then their defense, who is terrible or not. He's not a defensive minded guy. Destroyed Henry, couldn't get anything
I'm
going.
not
Had
saying.
multiple.
Okay,
Like, okay,
I guarantee you.
just say they
Cliff
have that-
Kingsbury had not one thing to do with what the defense did on Sunday. He
Yeah,
had
but
no say. I guarantee he has no say in that defense. He probably just says, you know what? I don't know. You go ahead and just do whatever works.
No way that happens. You're acting like you don't even know how football works.
I understand how football works, but I really don't think that Cliff Kingsbury has respect from other. Like, I don't think if Cliff Kingsbury put in a suggestion on defense that nobody would respect what he said. Like, they would probably be like, "Shut up, you air raid dude from Texas Tech. Go run the offense. Leave us alone. We know what we're doing."
And that's when they get fired. Now,
that's when they get fired.
Now I will go. Maybe he doesn't have the respect that maybe I think he does. That makes sense. But when the head coach speaks,
on the defensive side of things,
yeah,
they probably shut up and listen and are professional about it. But I think that's another reason why he wants to trade it. He's just like, get me the hell away from this. He might not like the culture of the team.
It could be the money as well.
It's a young culture in Arizona right now. And I think that's why he wants to. I think he wants to go to a team. Chandler Jones isn't, I don't think he's a spry chicken anymore. How old is Chandler Jones now? But
Chandler Jones
probably wants to win right now too. And he
31.
Probably thinks, and he probably thinks Arizona's not it. Arizona might be in the next 4 or 5 years, maybe, but he's probably like, get me out of here. I want to win right now.
Yeah. I mean, I
played on so many terrible teams in my career here. Like, I'm ready to win. Get me out of here. Sure. I've been great for you. Get me out of here.
All right. So since Kenny brought it up and he seems the most excited to talk about it, takeaways from our teams in week 1.
Okay, so the Browns are really fucking good, boys. We had a mishap in the fourth quarter where we let this game go. I think good
teams don't do that.
Yeah. Okay, so talent-wise, the team is really good. Do we have stuff to learn from? Yeah,
your offense is really good.
But
part of your defense.
Yeah, they have some things to learn, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll coach them up and we'll get going. Also, Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs are really good. Okay.
I don't know if anyone knows.
I don't know if anyone knew this or not, but I mean, they're real.
Their offense is really good.
Yeah. Their offense is really
their
good.
defense, their defense isn't great.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the ejection that happened to Harrison?
I think it was right, but it was also wrong
Yes.
at the same time, because the coach should have been gone too for Kansas City.
If the coach would have gotten ejected, and Harrison got ejected with him, I'm cool with that.
And I'm fine with Harrison getting ejected still, but the coach needs to go with him, because if a player can't touch a coach, then a coach can't touch a player. Like
Correct.
that
of the opposite team, right?
Yeah, because he gave him the forearm shiver too.
Yes.
Like, now Harrison definitely got the throat and gave him a pretty good throat punch. But
I think he got the throat because he got the throat because the coach was so small.
He was just going.
Now the reason for it that was said was Harrison was stepping on a Kansas City guy that was on the ground. That could have been, and I don't want to say it was intentional because I don't know. I don't think, I honestly don't think it was intentional. He was getting pushed and shoved around quite a bit, quite honestly. So he may have stepped on the guy. There's better ways of doing it that the coach could have done it, except for giving him a full hard shove.
Yeah,
100%.
He honestly could have put up his arm and kind of just a little nudge to him, or boxed him out to get him off. But the full on shove, no.
You are a professional coach in a professional league that pays people millions of dollars. Whoever that guy is not worth a dime of any half a dime of what any of those dudes are worth. If you're a coach, you don't touch them. You leave them alone unless they're in your face and you're protecting yourself. Makes sense.
That's different.
But, like, you leave it to the players. Leave it to them. Like, you have enough. Like, it's college to whatever. Like, don't touch them. Like, can you imagine if you did that in a high school game? If you pushed a player in a high school game, I mean, that the other side would be like screaming for your head, and would find you after the game probably, and you know what I mean? Like, you just don't do it.
I mean, these are grown ass men, and it's a little bit different. But as far as, you're right. The coach doesn't put his hands on the players unless it's in self-defense. And if it's something like this where he thinks he's trying to like step on his guy or something like that, you let the players.
You got four of your own players standing around.
He had an entire sideline.
Yeah. All the
an
whole
entire sideline.
You can yell at them all you want. Tell them, back the fuck up, do something, but don't put your like that. That's a grown ass. Like, I get it. You're a coach and you're a grown ass man too, but that is a grown ass man. Like, you come at him cross, man. It's not gonna end well for you.
I enjoyed Kevin Stefanski's response when the ref went and told him why he got. It was just one of these like son of a
he needs to work on his stage presence, because you could read him like a book.
Whatever. He more than he should have been annoyed.
Yeah. For sure.
So are we going to go to the Steelers next, or are we going to go to the Lions?
I mean, my team won, so
yeah. You want to do that? You want to go last?
So no, I'll go now.
Sure.
So the biggest takeaway from that game that is nothing that's anybody should be surprised by. The Steelers' offensive line is not good. We can't run the ball.
No.
Okay.
Najee Harris was terrible.
It wasn't Najee that was terrible.
Well, no,
he had nowhere to go.
That's what I mean though. Like, he did terrible.
He had like 16 carries, I think, for 40 yards.
One hole to run through the whole entire game. And you know what happened when he hit that hole? He ran for 10 yards on a first down. You know when that was? The very first play of the third quarter for Pittsburgh. They ran on up the left side guard, and there was a huge hole, ran for 10 yards, and it's just like, oh, hey, look what happens when you block for him. I learned that our defense is still really freaking good. The addition, oh my gosh, I just blanked.
You were not ready for this.
I just blanked on Melvin Ingram, that newly acquired from the Chargers. Was fantastic on his debut. TJ Watt got paid and was fantastic. Cam Hayward, the old man that he is still a freaking monster in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Joe Hayden's old self is still playing really good. The defense is really good. offensively, there's still a lot to work out. Ben Roethlisberger can go. I hope he like breaks his leg at some point this year and is done for the year.
So here's a question for you, because I was at the Lions game and wasn't able to watch, which I thought was, in my opinion, a really big upset. In my opinion, I mean, I know the point spread might not have been, but it was an upset. Were they doing those short dinking?
So they kind of they switched. I mean, it's not really. They would go deep. Claypool made some great catches. Juju was non-existent. It was pretty much the Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool show. But they swing passes, short screen passes, getting it out quick, and then taking deep shots when they could. So nothing really changed. So it's like I feel like I did last year when we went 11-0 to start the year. Like, yeah, we're good, but our offense, like,
it's almost like you guys.
If I could, like, it's like their defense needs to be on another team, and they'd win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, pick another team in the AFC to put. Like, if the Browns had Pittsburgh's defense, Super Bowl champs, probably more than likely. Chiefs, same thing, guaranteed. But it's like, it was very frustrating to watch. Ben is terribly inconsistent. I shouldn't say he's inaccurate. He's inconsistent. This offense that they're running with him is not good for him. He's a pocket passer, extend the play type of guy that wants to hit the medium, the deep routes. He doesn't want to throw these, short slants and all this stuff. So I don't think Roethlisberger's comfortable in this, but he's doing it because
they could probably be saving his arm as well. Just a
true,
little bit.
But that's all they did last year.
I was gonna say that's what they did last year too.
Yeah. So I mean, like here, he's right. I'm rewatching it right now. Actually, third quarter, he's 10 for 19 for 110 yards. So he's
yeah, those are dink and dunks.
Yeah,
10 yards of throw.
Yeah. But the offensive line was better than last year. Pass block wise, they were fantastic, but run block wise, just sucked. I mean,
Garbage.
third and inches, and you can barely get an inch to get a first down. So I would expect probably just like last year. I don't think they'll win 11 games, but I was 9-10 probably still. They're still better than probably half the league, but they probably missed the playoffs still. And it's just the same freaking fiddle unless the offensive line figures it out. I mean, that's the only thing I can take away from this week. We are who they thought they were. And the Bills just blew it. I think that was the other big takeaway was the Bills offense was just not good.
Yeah. And they lost.
Which is weird.
They lost like next to no one.
I think Josh Allen got cocky.
Good.
He was playing like it, trying to think, like I'm an MVP. And like he was throwing,
right.
He wasn't taking check downs. He was trying to force it.
Well, he's bombing it. That's what he does.
He wants to.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
I'm glad that you guys smacked him in the mouth, and hopefully he smartens up after this.
Which I think he will. He's a smart dude. But yeah. So how many kneecaps got taken off Sunday?
You guys ready for this shit?
Let's hear it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, big observation here. It's going to be a long year as far as we're going to have to keep up scoring. Our defense was they did hunker down and start stopping the run more as the game went on. Passing, we could not stop them down. There was one time where Jeff Okudah got completely lost, had no idea where the ball was. It was caught on him. Later on, he did make a play, but Jeff Okudah is now injured and out for the year, torn Achilles.
Damn, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
Why did we not put that on? How did that not pop up?
Because I knew I was going to talk.
Okay.
I knew I was going to talk about it, so I'm not.
I'm just saying. I googled notable week 1 injuries in the NFL. How did that not pop up?
Maybe because
it's the Lions.
Yeah.
A Jets guy showed up. I mean, come
on. But the defense looked really bad, except for they started stopping the run later on in the game, which still didn't help because their running back, who was the backup to Raheem Mostert, still had like 140 yards.
Elijah, whatever he was. Yeah.
As far as offensively, A lot of
Not
cool
bad.
things.
Not bad.
I don't like the fact that Goff constantly checks down to his running back and tight end, which Hawkinson looked fantastic.
Yes, he did.
Checking down to the running backs, I think, is more not necessarily Goff wanting to, but more of a need to, because our receivers aren't getting open. A very bright spot, guys. Taylor Decker got hurt. He's out for a couple weeks. I think.
Yeah.
I think 6.
Yeah, I heard on the radio broadcast they moved Sewell over to left tackle for the.
He did leave. Yes, and he went against Bosa all day.
Yeah,
and he fucking killed it.
He killed it. He did let up a sack, and he did let up a quarterback hurry, and that was it.
Yeah, but
he went up
against Nick Bosa though. He's no Joey.
Dude, to go up against any Bosa, to go against
I don't care what your face says, Kenny. Nick Bosa is not as good as Joey, and I'll never unless he proves it, he's not better. Sorry.
I mean, I don't think it matters. I think Penei Sewell
really fucking
destroyed in his debut. I think the line
this has nothing to do with
in their debut.
Bosa.
And the reason the line destroyed in their debut is we were able to fucking run it. Everyone's like, San Francisco has a really good defense. We didn't see it with their run defense, man. We were able to run pretty much at will. And just to put it in kind of a perspective here, guys, for the Lions as a team overall, DVOA, whatever, take it for what you will. Our overall ranking was 29th. Our offense is 25th with 26th in passing, but 8th in run. We're in top 10 for running game.
When's the last time that happened? Barry Sanders?
Probably. I mean, and we had over 100 yards rusher, and we had quite a few rushing yards in general. And then, but our defense, here's the thing: they are 30th with a 30 pass, 30 run defense. I mean, we are
right.
30s across the board. So which we knew.
Yeah, that was pretty much a given coming into the year.
A lot of the people got mad at a clip that they saw of the
Cuda getting chewed out.
Yes, Aubrey Pleasant chewed him out, and then everyone's like, "Oh, I thought it was the culture change." They're good.
That's coaching, son. That's coaching.
To me, that's coaching.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell did.
Yes, sir.
Dan Campbell did talk about it. He said, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. He goes, it was just one of those things. He goes, both need to learn from that. He goes, he probably could have got his point across.
Yeah. Did you see? I saw a picture, kind of like a meme. It was
the part you show,
the part you show, and the part you don't see, and it was them arguing, and then at the end, he had like his arm around him, and they were like smiling or whatever.
So it was not that same play. That's the thing.
Was it not? Okay.
It was not. It was later on in the game. Jeff Okudah went out, made a play, came off, and they ended up touching foreheads with that's.
Well, that's okay. That's okay.
From what I'm to understand, someone addressed it. They're like, look, guys, they both want to be the best that they can be. Aubrey Pleasant has put so much expectations and challenged us so much, and that he's going to get after us. We all respect him. We all have a great rapport with him.
Yeah.
So I can't remember whose quote that was, but it was another DB who obviously gets coached by Aubrey Pleasant. I don't think it was a problem because Okudah was also chipping back at him. There's so much testosterone during a game. The thing is it looked like they left it on the field, or they left it after that was done.
And that play, yeah. Or in that
because not only did Aubrey Pleasant come over and rip Okudah, but then Aaron Glenn came over, our defensive coordinator, and ripped Okudah. So
it was warranted. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he got it. But bright side, Penei Sewell looked fucking amazing.
Yeah, good.
Our offensive line looked fantastic. I'm really pumped about our running backs.
I'm not saying that Chase didn't have a good game for the Bengals. All I'm saying is Sewell had a better game for the Lions.
Right.
But Chase had a great game.
Yeah. So my question, Derek, would be before we move on with the Lions. So Sewell goes up against, a guy who's considered a great pass rusher, and he dominates him.
Yep.
Taylor Decker has been a pretty good left tackle for you guys the last couple of years.
Yep.
So you see your, number one overall pick of this year's draft go and just absolutely slay at the position he's been playing. Does Taylor Decker get moved to right tackle when he comes back? Or do you move Sewell back over there to the right?
You move Sewell back to the right, because Taylor Decker is, first of all, we have him for cheaper than most left tackles already. He's on a very good deal for us. He's going to be there for the next 3 years, roughly, before two at max, or 2 at minimum, possibly 3. And then Sewell will probably move back over there. But I get it, because I think, and what I noticed, because Sewell was extremely close to me where I was at one point. Taylor Decker, I've seen him as well. The wingspan on him is so much different.
Yeah.
Than, like,
Panay's short and fat, Taylor's long and lean, right?
But,
what you want out of a left tackle right now.
Yeah.
But so, here's my question though. All right. So how long is Decker out for? A couple weeks?
About 6 weeks.
Okay. So let's just say 6 weeks. Sewell is just going off, being great left tackle. Decker comes back fully healthy, cleared, ready to rock and roll. You start Decker game 1 left tackle, and he gets fried. Is it as a coach, you're a football coach. Like me, if I see that happen, I'm going to be thinking well, maybe we should put Sewell back over there. That would be going in my head. Now, obviously you probably wouldn't make that move after 1 week. You'd probably give him a couple weeks to get his feet back underneath him. But if he keeps getting dominated, not say dominated, but let's say Sewell gives up 1 sack in 6 weeks, Decker comes back and gives up 3 in 2 weeks. Are you thinking okay, maybe Sewell's better for us at left tackle?
Yeah, but Decker playing left tackle and playing right tackle are 2 completely different positions. Is Decker able to switch to right tackle?
As Sewell has shown, it's not easy.
No, because he has not looked that great.
Yeah,
right tackle.
Yep, and I get it. Here's my thing. I think this is going from a high school football coach mentality where you don't have people that can only play one side of the ball. Sometimes you have to play 2 sides of the ball here. But your philosophy should always be you put the best people in. And I think we are a better team with both Taylor Decker and Sewell in. And if it just so happens to have to be Sewell at the right tackle, that's what it is, because you put your best players in and you let them go be players.
Yep.
I don't think trading him is a great idea unless
about Decker,
unless in the draft we draft a right tackle and then makes Taylor expendable. Is as bad as that sounds, because he's been a fantastic player for us.
But as good as he's been, he's also if you see Sewell come out and dominate like that, he's very tradable for you might be able to get some defensive players out of him that could come help you get some young guys or some draft picks out of him.
That's what I was thinking. It's
a win-win situation right now for you guys.
We're in a great situation. It's a good situation to have to try to figure out what the hell do you do with Taylor Decker and Sewell. I'm excited for it. I think we have not had a running game in so damn long. I'm so pumped to see it. And then if only he would have stayed 1 more year.
Who?
That fat fucking
from
the Rams.
Dude,
it would have a running game.
You guys have a good quarterback.
We do.
We
do. I'm just saying.
This is a very familiar talk about the Lions that we're having. Stafford or no Stafford. Yeah. Except it's switched where there's no passing game and there's a run game.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. That fat.
Which is good. Is good in a rebuild, because what do you want to do when you're not the greatest team? You want to take the air out of the ball, give the other team, especially with a bad defense, you don't want them to have the ball that much. So
great
running game is a good thing for us for a rebuild. So
yes.
All right, guys, going on to week 1 picks. Nick finished with a 6-10 record. I finished with a 9-7 record.
I didn't do great.
No,
Yeah,
okay,
8.
8-8.
8-8, baby.
Yep.
50. It was. I mean, it's a tough week. Week one's always tough because you don't know who's going to show up. Like,
Nope.
Yeah.
like
I
Aaron
was-
Rodgers.
Can we talk about this?
Please,
Do it.
please, because
Because I have Devontae Adams, so let's talk
who
about
in the actual fuck could have ever guessed that Aaron Rodgers was going to lay 1 point down?
So you know what? It's
One
not even that he has.
point.
It's not even that he has one fantasy point. It's the fact that he threw 2 interceptions that is more
Which
mind-boggling.
he
to
never
me.
does.
Yeah, never.
Guys.
Derek is so happy about this.
Oh yeah,
Guys,
from
the
40
Packers-
miles away, I could feel his.
the Packers, ladies and gentlemen, made Jameis Winston look like an MVP quarterback.
No,
Jameis
they
Winston,
didn't.
week 1 MVP.
5 touchdowns, baby.
Hold on. Go
I'm
ahead, keep
sorry.
talking.
I'm
Keep
sorry.
talking.
Out
Just,
of
you want to go for the DVOA for the Packers, ladies and gentlemen? Their offense is number 32 across the board.
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
Their defense is 29th. Their pass defense is 32nd. Their run defense is 21st.
All right. So
They're garbage, guys.
everybody talks about the Packers made Jameis look like an MVP. All right. Okay. First of all, let's start off. Yes, he threw for 5 touchdowns. All right. Cool. He threw for 0 interceptions, which I think is the biggest takeaway.
That's
no
Thank you.
interceptions.
that
Okay.
right there is proof that LASIK surgery works.
But let's chill. Like he had 130 quarterback rating. All right. But he was 14 to 20. Good. All right.
That's good.
He had 148 yards.
Okay,
like,
so he's
wasn't-
dinking and dunking.
That's not
Okay.
bad.
First of all, if any other quarterback in the NFL at the games we watched had 5 touchdowns, they would have over 300 yards passing.
Oh, okay, but where did those touchdowns come from? Those
It's probably
touchdowns came.
short
Those
fielders.
those touchdowns
because
came
you know why?
from the
It's
red
because
zone.
they ran for 171 yards and they averaged 4.4 yards a carry. That's why.
Yeah,
Right. So
Yeah,
yes,
guys,
Jameis
That's
Green
was
all
Bay's
right.
bad. What do you want me to
But
say?
Jameis they didn't make Jameis look like an MVP. Jameis just capitalized on certain situations.
Hey.
Okay?
MVP, baby. Listen,
MVP.
Oh my God! Shut the
Listen,
fuck up.
hold on.
I'm saying week 1 of the NFL season, Jameis Winston's MVP. There's
No,
nothing
he
you can
is
do about it.
not.
I think, dude, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray by
easily,
far.
Easily.
No way.
Stafford,
but-
I take Stafford over Winston.
Stafford's fat ass.
Looked freaking fantastic.
He looked fucking
he-
great. He looked
He
pretty
against
great
a
in that
great
uniform.
Bears
Guys.
defense, against a really good Bears defense. And first of all, the Packers defense is absolutely garbage. So them giving up a lot of 38 points to the Saints is not surprising.
No. Stafford did what he had to do, but he honestly didn't have to play very much. You know what I mean? Like the game was pretty much in control for
Yeah,
the
from-
Rams the whole time.
You know why? You know when the game was in control was when the defense made a stop, which the Rams have a great defense. And then what
Yes, they do.
happens? What happens on Matthew Stafford's very first pass as a freaking second pass as a Ram? What does
Yeah.
he do? He just throws great play action,
Woo!
bootleg to the left,
Someone
turns
give me
the
a
shoulders, switches, throws the hips back, and just throws a bomb to
Right.
Van Jefferson.
Right.
out of the
So-
cannon.
So great play calling, great execution. But what I'm saying is pretty much from then on,
See what happens when you put Matthew Stafford in a good
didn't
organization,
have to,
in a good team.
Stafford didn't have to play. Like Stafford
That's what
was
you
able to
want.
he was able to just execute, and
You want him to
looked
be
great.
you want him to be a general on the field.
He had the highest passer rating of anyone.
I mean,
I
he
think
was
in history
20 for
for-
26, 321 yards. That's 12 yards a pass. All right, that's pretty. And 3
Yeah,
touchdowns.
but
no
70 of
interceptions.
that came on one pass. So, well, guys, what I'm saying, you guys are acting like I'm insulting him. I'm
You
not
are.
insulting
Yes, you
him.
Just
are.
called him a
You are
fat ass
being
3 times.
You are being
He
a
is fat.
bitter little Lions fan right now, and it's
Not at
very
all.
frustrating.
Not at all. What I'm saying is the Rams were in control. I can't wait until someone challenges him. I want to see him.
He won against one of the best defenses in the league.
They're not one of the best defenses in the league.
They're definitely. I mean, they're
Yeah,
Wait
they
until,
did
wait,
that.
top
wait until
10.
wait until we get to it. But
Where are we
what
going
I'm
to
saying,
get to it?
what I'm saying is the play calling was great.
Because Sean
he was-
McVay's a great offensive
he-
mind.
Yeah, why do you guys think that I'm insulting? I am Let me speak. Let me finish.
You act like it's not a good thing that the quarterback executed what he was supposed to do. Like
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Great play calling, great execution. There was never any doubt in my mind ever that Stafford couldn't.
See my hair. This is how Derek's making me feel right now.
That Stafford couldn't exlet and do exactly what he was supposed to do.
You're giving him no credit. You're just saying.
All right, so he didn't execute. Let me say
you're
how you guys.
Downplaying it. You're downplaying it like a bitter little Lions fan that you are.
Let me tell you guys. I'm gonna just say it so you can. Okay, Stafford got lucky. He didn't execute. It was only the play calling.
Yeah, that's what you've been saying the whole time.
Jesus, guys, he did a great game. I'm just saying, and this is me following what someone else put. This isn't me. Can't tell you who it was, but I read a tweet where it's like Stafford and the Rams were so good that night that he didn't necessarily have to play. I'm waiting for Sean McVay to be challenged. I'm waiting for Stafford to be challenged. I want to see with this fantastic play calling and offense. I'm ready to see Stafford have to really fucking dig in and play, man. That's going to be fun to watch.
Against two.
Exactly. Against two. We'll see. Someone's going to challenge
Tampa
Bay.
Do they play Tampa Bay this year?
Maybe.
Because that's probably about the only NFC team I could think of defensive wise that would really challenge them.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait to see them pull out the stops and see Matthew Stafford have to be excellent. You know what I mean? I can't wait for that.
Oh, yeah, because he really hasn't had the opportunity to have that. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, because they were in control.
Will he
for
crack
so long.
under pressure, or will he keep being Matthew Stafford?
Will he do exactly what he did this week?
They play the Colts next week or this week coming up. They play the Bucks.
Defense.
Bucks week 3.
Okay.
Cardinals.
There it is.
That'll be a good game.
Giants, Lions, Texans, Titans, 49ers, which is good defense. Packers, shit defense. Jags, Cards, Seahawks.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, they got some.
They're gonna run.
I'm kind of excited for week 3 right now.
Yeah, week 3 is gonna be a good game.
Can we go back to the Green Bay game?
You're just not done with Aaron Rodgers yet?
Where Aaron Rodgers needs to cut his hair, dye his hair, and maybe he should have spent a little bit of time practicing with his team instead of trying to run the Packers organization. Maybe.
So, you saw my comment about Rodgers' hair. I made the comment to Dylan Sunday that maybe if he cut his hair, he would actually be worth the shit on Sunday. Yeah. I hear this is what I think. I think happened on Sunday. I think this was done on purpose by Aaron Rodgers. I think he went out there purposely and played like absolute crap. He threw the game, not that 38-3 purposely threw it, but I think he had a talk with Devontae, said, look, this is our last run, but we're going to prove a point right here to where that they know they act like I'm not important to this organization, but I'm going to show them how important I am. When I play like absolute crap, we suck. I don't think it was like he purposely went out and played like absolute crap. But I think he was proving a point at times where he was just like, I don't care. Like, you need me. Like, but I think he said it perfectly after, and this is why I think this is what he said after the game. It's one game. That's all he had to say about it. It's one game, which he's right. It's one game. Okay. Aaron Rodgers played the worst game of his career on Sunday. You know what? Honestly, I'm that, you know what that means for me? I don't care. I'm still on the Rodgers bandwagon. I still think he's the, second best quarterback in the NFL right now, behind Pat Mahomes. So,
guys, we'll get to this later, but you might be a little right. Okay. But as far as that's concerned, Packers are fucking ass.
That's progress. That's progress right there, Derek.
Now, Derek, before we go into picks for this week, I have one question to ask. On a scale of 1 to 10, Messmer's tailgating cooking skills, 1 to 10. What do we got here?
Dude, we had steak.
I know. It looked eggs, super good. It looked so good.
Hash browns, which I'm not a fan of hash browns. Delicious, by the way.
Well, yeah,
yeah. So
how the fuck are you not a fan of hash browns?
Because he's not from America, man.
You American? Week 1 was great. We were up there at 9:00 and there was already like a full fucking
it looked fun like
it
that.
Was surprisingly
but I need a rating, because on the Snapchat I got, it looked like a 9 out of 10. Like it
was easily a 9 out of 10. Easily. Okay.
All right.
Easily. The problem. The
Hold
problem
on.
is
How's he cooking his steak? How's he cooking his steak?
He had a
so salt and pepper. It was just a propane flat grill.
Well, that's okay.
Um,
That's what you need. That's what you need.
yeah.
Especially when you're
and
doing
salt
breakfast.
and pepper steak. Salt and pepper steak is perfect with.
That's
nice
literally all you
restaurant.
need.
Yeah,
That's all you need.
The problem he had is the steak was a little bit too thin, so it was a little bit overcooked.
Real quick, real fast.
that's why. That's his first time doing that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And he knew it. He knew he's like, to get a char on it, I gotta overcook it.
Last
So-
thing you need to do is put the you don't with a blacktop. You're not going with a char. You're cooking on a griddle. You're not going for char there. You put the steak on last. You put it on for, if it's thin, maybe a minute each
Super
side,
thin.
and you're done.
Down the hatch, right?
Down
So-
the hatch.
I Kenny won't know what this is about, but I just want to make sure that we establish for people that listen that don't know that Matt Messmer is a better griller than Jay Haler. So it's finished, done, it's over with. Don't need to have that conversation anymore. It's done.
All right, let's get.
I'll
guys,
come
we're
up.
gonna-
I'll come up and show you motherfuckers how to cook.
We ain't worried about you. We're talking about our fantasy league that they always have this argument of who's the best griller in the league, and it's always Jay and Messmer arguing with each other. So
This is completely off of topic. This is not in the podcast whatsoever.
what else would it be with us if it wasn't off topic?
Right. Completely off topic. I'm at work today, right? I'm in Kroger. They have a 3-burner propane grill on sale for $22. A $230 grill for $22.
Was that a misprint?
Nope.
Did you buy it?
Yep. I called my wife and I was like, "Hey babe, just don't be mad at me. I bought a grill." She goes, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, I just bought a $230 grill." "The fuck you did?" And I was like, "I got it for $23. Seriously?" "Yeah." "Okay."
Guys, let's pull up your guys' picks.
Got him.
Ken, you got yours?
Yep, on my phone.
Okay. So Thursday night, tomorrow night, just so everyone knows,
Yes.
the Giants and Washington football team.
At Washington.
This is easy.
Washington.
I agree.
Washington.
I agree.
I'm sorry. Well, okay, so apparently this is not easy. Heineke is playing.
Yeah. Did you watch
me
the
the-
playoffs?
I
Did you
don't
watch
give
the
a
NFL playoffs last year when
yes.
Heineke played great against the Buccaneers?
That's fine. It's fine. It's the Giants.
What-
Go
the
on.
Giants
Everything's
suck.
fine.
Everything's
Okay.
fine.
New Orleans Panthers.
Panthers.
New
At
Orleans.
Carolina Panthers.
I'm going
New
New
Orleans.
Orleans.
was a
Here's
fluke.
one.
Panthers D is better than the Packers. Give me the Panthers.
A lot of teams are better than the Packers. Bengals, Bears, guys.
Bears at home.
Bengals.
Bears.
I go with the Bengals as well. Now, here's the problem. Their
The
line's going to
Vikings
get
suck.
Yes, they
The
do.
Vikings suck, dude. They
I
could
like-
though because the Bears offense blows. So vice
Yeah.
versa.
I
you
like
know,
Joe. I like Joe Burrow.
I like Burrow.
Mixon looked good.
Yeah,
Um,
Mixon did.
I,
Look
their
really
their
good,
offense,
so.
their offense outside. I mean, their line was all right. From what I watched in the game, their line was fine. Burrow is staying
And-
upright.
And right
And
now they're still
Jamar Chase
there's-
Apparently he can
Yep.
find the ball now. Apparently he's
He
We're
can
off,
catch.
to, we're off to a hot start. I'm either gonna have a really good week or a really bad week. based on these predictions.
and they're still playing Andy Dalton. So
Yes,
yes, they are.
Houston Browns. Houston to me
Browns easy.
was kind of a fluke first week. I think
Yeah.
Browns are gonna
Browns.
Play the
handle
Jags.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, Browns.
everybody looks good
Uh,
against the Jags.
Rams versus Indy. Indy looked really poor in my opinion. Rams are gonna handle this.
Yeah, and at home too. That was the other disappointing thing. So yeah, the Rams look real good.
For sure,
So, yeah.
Rams. For sure, Rams.
Yeah,
Jacksonville or Denver versus Jacksonville. I feel like this is the one that puts Urban Meyer to USC. And Denver's gonna win.
Yeah,
a heart attack.
no, yeah.
No, he
Denver
goes back
for
to
sure.
Fox. I
Denver-
don't think he goes
Bridgewater.
to USC. I think he goes back to Fox.
Watch out for Denver. I heard some stuff. If you get a chance, see what Von Miller said about Teddy Bridgewater this past week, and I think you'll change your mind about the Denver Broncos. So, yeah, Denver.
I actually
I got Denver winning. I got Denver
Yeah.
winning. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying as a
Bridgewater's
a
a
contender,
natural born
contending
leader.
team, like a
Yeah, he's a
contending
natural
team.
born leader. He's really good.
Uh, So Buffalo against Miami. This one, if Buffalo plays to their potential,
Buffalo.
this one might be a good one.
Yeah, so
I
we
don't
were
think
talking.
so.
You don't think so? We were
No.
talking about games that we thought were going to be good, and I think this might be the game that's going to be good. I think the Dolphins can play well with them, but I think Buffalo irons out their mistakes and they can get this one out.
I'm going to go off of Buffalo's offense playing absolutely bad against Pittsburgh, and I think they're going to absolutely unleash hell on the Dolphins this weekend.
Scott, I hope so.
Yes.
But I got Buffalo as well, guys. New England versus the Jets. I don't think the Jets are quite there. I'm going to go with New England.
The Jets are garbage.
Zach Wilson wasn't bad.
Exactly.
Mac Jones was very efficient.
Yes, Mac Jones did really well.
So I think New England will score 20 points and win.
They need a better line in New York, and they need a running back. So we got San Francisco at the Eagles at Philadelphia.
San Fran.
Yeah, San Fran.
I'm going with the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts come back to reality this week.
I think Jalen.
He did really well, but
and I think one of the things that helped them the most was the play calling. From what I'm to understand, the Eagles had a very diverse and very good play calling.
They mixed it up.
And
is that why you traded Miles?
Yeah, I'm pissed about that, but it made sense. And if you want to talk about that, we can. But we're going to continue here. Las Vegas versus Pitt. This is not a primetime game, so Las Vegas is going to get handled.
You think so?
I think so. If it's a primetime game, if it's a Monday night game, they're fucking with you.
They're good. Yeah, they're good.
If Pittsburgh wins this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends up like 10-6. Or some 13, 14, 17 to 10.
I was gonna say it might be a lower scoring game, but 10-6 is a little rough.
Yeah.
Why? You got a great defense. You got a great defense in Pittsburgh.
I'm just saying. No, I'm saying
Oakland's defense isn't bad. Oakland's defense is a good NFL defense,
right,
and Pittsburgh's offensive line sucks. So
I think that Pittsburgh scores a little bit more than 10 points. That's all.
Yeah, I got Pittsburgh.
Okay, I also have Pittsburgh. I'm not sure if Minnesota at the Cardinals. This to me is an easy one. If the Cardinals keep rolling,
I think this is another blowout like last week for the
Cardinals. So you
know.
DeAndre Hopkins, I didn't pick him because he can't score touchdowns.
And then he scores touchdowns.
He had almost just as much touchdowns in the first week this week that he did all of last year. I think he had 5 touchdowns last year. Fucking ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous.
Atlanta versus Tampa Bay, no question.
This is gonna be ugly. That's gonna be an ugly game.
Easy game.
Tampa.
Before we were talking, and I think this is going to be the best game this week.
I agree.
Dallas versus the Chargers. The Chargers.
The Chargers.
Go Chargers, go.
I'm actually going to go with the Cowboys.
I went with the Cowboys as well.
I got the Chargers in this one.
I love I love the Chargers.
Yeah,
but I also think that the Cowboys look really good.
Don't get me wrong. My hands are dirty. I'm a grown adult, and I can admit when I was wrong. I was wrong about Dallas. They came out last Thursday and they played a fucking hell of a game. And Dak Prescott looks like he didn't skip a step.
Their defense sucks.
Their defense blows dick hole though.
Whatever the over is in this game, take it.
Yeah,
because it's going to happen. Because Chargers defense is not that great either. They have pieces that are good. Like Joey Bosa, whatever. But
I think they can get like one more stop, like one extra stop over the Dallas Cowboys, and I think that's going to be the difference.
I think Dak is more efficient. I think Dak's more high scoring potential than Justin Herbert, if that makes sense. Like Justin Herbert's a really good quarterback, but I think Dak Prescott's got the capability of throwing up 500 yards and 6 touchdowns, where Herbert's not going to do that as much because they have Austin Eckler, and Zeke's been an absolute disappointment for Dallas. So they're going to throw the ball 50 times again. So I think
they're going to give them 2 targets. They're going to give.
I think that's what Dallas is going to help with. Dak's going to put them over the top. So I'm thinking like 38-35 Dallas, something like that.
This is definitely the game that we're all excited about, as you guys can listen and hear.
Yep.
We got Tennessee at Seattle. I think Mr. Unlimited is going to just destroy them. I don't think their defense is going to be able to handle it.
I actually want to change my pick for this one, because when I took Tennessee, I didn't think about Derrick Henry and just absolutely not fucking doing a goddamn thing. So I'm gonna change my pick, and I'm gonna go with Seattle on this one.
So you were basing your pick.
Yeah, I was saying,
off of one person.
I was thinking
how much he loves.
You're not gonna base it on the fact that Julio was a huge letdown. But if Julio turns it around and they get the passing game going, that opens it up for Derrick
200
Henry.
yards. I was waiting for Henry to do 200 yards. That's what I want, and it's not going to happen. So
he doesn't. Okay,
guess what? I changed my pick, Nicholas.
He doesn't play the AFC South every week, right? So
I don't care, Nicholas. I changed my pick.
I had Seattle off the rip. I don't think Tennessee's that good.
No, they're not.
I think last year was a fluke. Henry's fantastic. Henry is fantastic. Great running back. Love Derrick Henry, but I think Tannehill's overrated. AJ Brown's really good, and Julio's really good. I don't think Tannehill's that great. So I took Seattle. In Seattle, definitely Seattle.
I'll take Seattle.
I'm going to take Kansas City at Baltimore. Great defense going against a great offense. It should be.
I disagree.
It should be fun to watch.
No, I think he's talking about Baltimore's defense against Kansas City.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I disagree. I don't think it'll be fun to watch. I think KC beats shit out of Baltimore this week.
I just don't think that
Baltimore can't run the ball. Baltimore won't be able to run the ball. KC's going to have it a lot.
That's a weird thing to say when you got a top 5 running back on the Baltimore Ravens there, buddy.
For the week.
Yeah, how many yards
Jackson?
you run
for? Over 100.
Who? Jackson? I ain't worried about Jackson again.
No, not Lamar Jackson.
You're talking about Tyshawn Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah, and all that came on one. Okay, you're going to talk about Stafford's 300 yards on one pass between 70. Yep. Okay, Tyshawn Williams had like a 60, 70-yard touchdown run, so shush.
There you go.
Okay, that's all it takes.
No.
Destroying them.
Now,
wins. Now. I'm going to make a prediction. 34-17. KC.
We're not picking points.
I'm taking KC. It doesn't matter. I'm taking KC.
Yeah.
Not fun to watch.
And then Monday night, we're going to go back to your point earlier, Nick.
Oh, my God.
Detroit goes into Green Bay, and this is where Aaron Rodgers says, hey, week 1, we'll fucking squander it because we played fucking Detroit week 2, and I'm just going to absolutely dominate this shit. I'm going to show them.
Nope.
I'm going Green Bay.
Green Bay's going to win. All right. Yeah. Now, I am not changing my pick on this one, boys. I would not be surprised if Green Bay puts up 50 points this week. And Rodgers throws for like 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. It would not surprise me if that happened this week.
Yeah, because he can do it all he wants as long as Detroit gets one more point.
But here's the X factor. All right, and you know what the X factor is for this week with Green Bay? It's Monday night, and Dan Quinn is on the sidelines of Detroit, and he is a master motivator. I don't care what anybody says.
He was very calm and collected. Oddly enough,
He might not be the greatest coach ever, but that dude is a master motivator, and the players seem to freaking flock to him and play the way they want him to play. So, like Kenny said, you have a gut feeling, and you're going with the Lions,
the Lions.
Yeah, thank you.
But I can see it though. I understand that gut feeling because I think that Quinn brings that. Am I saying is it Dan Quinn? Right. I'm right. No. I got Campbell. What is it?
Dan Campbell. Yeah.
Campbell. Sorry.
I was gonna say I thought Quinn was the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys.
That is correct.
He is the old Falcons coach. Sorry, too many people with the same first names and different last names. Stuff. But I think Campbell is a master motivator, and I would not be surprised if some reason this game came out and the Lions won by like a field goal.
Yeah, well, we're gonna run all fucking over them. If it does come down to a field goal, Crosby will miss it. That's what he does. And as far as that's concerned. Screw Green Bay. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
I got your back on this one, man. I got your back on this one. I actually took my pick.
I know. And I love you for that, but I'm picking to win, not with my heart. Because my heart's telling me we're gonna go in there and destroy them.
So
but your mind's telling you that Aaron Rodgers is
this is what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is
no way he's doing it.
Because what happens when Rodgers has a bad game? He normally bounces back and
he's
has an amazing game. Yeah.
He can have a decent game. And I mean I'm not saying the Lions defense is great because it's not, but he can have a good game. I just think that there is something about the first big game in Dan Campbell's career as a head coach.
I get it. I understand
the offense is really well.
I just don't have the balls to pick it.
Yeah, they're doing good. They're doing good. I could sacrifice one game. I'm gonna beat you guys. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, that's great.
But
So are we gonna have like a trophy for something? We got to have something for this.
Oh, there'll be something.
Or a punishment. We got a punishment for whoever does the worst has to do something.
Yeah,
like
there'll be something at the end of this.
Guys, I do want to mention a couple things. Chris Worley, cornerback that used to play for the Panthers. He was signed by the Lions to kind of help aid in the Jeff Okudah injury. Also, they have been in contact with Quentin Dunbar, who was with the team at one point and was cut. We are now we're looking to bring him back as well.
Breaking news.
news.
Cleveland just beat Minnesota 12-3. 12-3. So go Indians. Way to fucking not get no-hitted tonight. Congratulations.
Way to not get no-hitted.
Jesus fucking
yes, because Derek, if you didn't know, the Indians have been have had 3 no-hitters thrown against them this year.
4.
Did not know, and also didn't remember that baseball was still going on.
Yeah, baseball's still going on. Derek always forgets that baseball's going on.
Yeah,
it's
but
football
guys,
season, but yeah.
I'm super excited that football season has started. My fantasy team won the first week, which is why I can make a trade this week.
My fantasy team won. I would have beat half the freaking league this year. I hate fantasy football so much.
Guys, that's a great way to end it. We hate fantasy football.
Freaking Christ. Derek, I won my first week matchup.
Yeah.
How many points you score week 1?
70 something.
Yeah. Freaking.
All right. Kenny, wrap it up.
No,
I'm tired of hearing him bitch.
Hold on. Nick, I want to hear how many you scored.
He put up 85.
How many did you score, Nick?
I had 114.
Woo!
And I lost.
He wasn't even the
Rocky T put up 127. But I went against Kyler Murray and freaking Thielen, Cup, Montgomery. That was the thing that pissed me off the most Sunday night watching that freaking Rams game was watching Stafford light it up, but then watching David Montgomery just freaking run all over the Rams when the Rams defense is so good. And then it's just like, oh my God, 108 yards and a touchdown out of Montgomery. I was thinking like he'd get like 4 points, 40 yards total on like 20 carries.
I was going to say, what was that? Like 16 points did he score?
He's 17.
17?
And then freaking Stafford just throws bombs to Cooper Kupp, and it's just like.
All right. Well, that's this week's episode of the KD Sports Talk. Like I said, I might have a fucking a new name. It's a possibility. Make sure you go out and like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you, if you're listening to the podcast on iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast site, make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Give us a rate and review. 5 stars is always nice. We love that shit. Follow us on Twitter. All that shit will be in the show notes or in the video description down below. And you know what? How about this week? Will you let us know your upset? Let us know the one upset that you think is going to happen this week. Obviously, I got the Lions coming, but I want to hear what everybody else has got. So till next week, boys. Peace out.
Peace.